Hello and welcome. This is Jen Espinosa-Goswami. I'm coming to you from my page because I wanted to share something that came across for me the past week. And I wanted to assist my people out there who are in the belief system that a strong personal story, sometimes known as a signature story, will then automatically make you an expert. And I'm here to say, I'm sorry, not sorry. Your personal story does not make you an expert. Now, I'm a little bit tongue in cheek with this one because I started my speaking business weightless with the idea that I personally lost 100 pounds. And then I started going onto stages and telling people how they could also use their personal story to inspire their audiences to action. Now, there was one small difference between me using my personal story versus another person in the transformational space using their personal story to make them an expert. So I never went onto a single stage saying I was an expert at weight loss. Instead, I was going onto stages to say, yay, I lost weight. Maybe this story will inspire you. Are you someone who's going up there and being very vulnerable and sharing your personal story, maybe for the first time, and thinking that it's automatically going to make you an expert within that area? I'm sorry to say that's not how it works out, especially if you have a business that you're hoping to serve other people through. Your personal story is just that. It's a story of something you have experienced, and there may be lessons in there for your audience. However, if you're not clear on how to bridge the gap between being the hero of your own story, which most of us are when we're sharing our personal stories, we come from the other end of it, from the success piece of it, like I struggled and now I'm way better. That's how stories progress. But what you fail to do if you're focusing just on you and your personal story is you're failing to invite your audience in to participate with you. If you're familiar with the story brand framework, which is from Donald Miller, he says that we're not the heroes of our own stories, especially not as speakers or as business people. It's not about being the hero. It's about being the guide. So you should never be the hero. And this is true for speaking more than anything else. I am not speaking up on stages to tell people, be like me. I am not speaking on stages to tell people, you need to do exactly what I do in order to reach the success that you would like to have for yourself. That's not how that works. Instead, I'm sharing a signature speech. Now, what is the difference between a signature story and a signature speech? A signature speech still has story within it. If you're not using any stories currently, I can help support you around which stories might be most impactful, even if it doesn't feel like a huge transformational story in your life. Any story can aid your particular speech. So all signature speeches must have a story or multiple stories. Here's the difference though. It's not just your story. You are the guide that is pointing out to people how they can change and transform their lives. It's not about you. People may think that when a person is speaking up on a stage, it's all about them. That is further from the truth than anything else you've even heard of thus far. So a signature speech is a roadmap. It says, here is where you may be starting off, and then you can share a personal story about maybe where you entered into this discussion or what your personal experiences is with it. You absolutely do share your personal experiences and stories when you're delivering a signature speech. I do it all the time, not just when I was speaking about weight loss, but now I speak about how to own your voice and your confidence as a public speaker. I certainly use my personal stories of that. Everything from the first time I spoke to the most difficult time I spoke at my dad's funeral. So I always share personal stories within my signature speech, but there's a different end goal. Signature stories might make people think differently. Signature speeches make them do differently. That's the crux of it if you're a business owner or someone who is a coach, a counselor, a healer, or someone who wants to serve your community beyond just sharing thought leadership. There are many ways to show up as an expert. You can connect through story, you can be on front of stages speaking one to many, but unless there is a call to action, it is not a signature speech. Curious to hear if you're watching live or on the replay. Tell me, do you currently have a signature speech? Say hi in the comments. And if you have a signature speech, tell us what your title is. We've been talking about the difference between your personal story and how that doesn't automatically make you an expert. Certainly, you can include signature story within your signature speech, but understanding that your signature speech is getting you somewhere differently. Not you personally, it's getting your audience somewhere. You have to provide that hope for a different outcome for your audience. Usually with personal stories, and I experience this at various conferences I attend, people are focused on what they're doing, what they're processing, and it can be very scary and vulnerable to share your personal story. I must put that out there that it is a scary thing to do, and I applaud you if you're putting your personal story out there. But don't let that bravery and that courage go to waste. If you're someone who then has a service or a program or a roadmap or a course to help your audience out of the weeds of whatever their personal stories are into a different result, perhaps one that looks similar to the result you experienced with your personal experience, don't leave your audience hanging. Don't leave them waiting for more or wondering what they can possibly do to be similar to you, not just like you, but to do the process that you did to bring yourself out of that place. That is the difference between a signature story and a signature speech. If you don't currently have a signature speech, I can support you. I'm holding a public speaking for coaches masterclass next week, May 11th. There's also an alternate date on May 12th if that day doesn't work out for you. And within this workshop, I'm going to share with you how to select your signature speech, title, topic, takeaways for your audience, because remember, you're the guide. You're not the hero of this story. You're the guide. And as the guide, you have to give your audience a roadmap. I can tell you how to do that so that you attract the right clients who might want to work with you, who might want to coach with you. I can help you figure that out. A lot of people, they think that, oh, sharing the story is enough. It is not enough. People don't know how to take action unless you tell them how to take action. I will also help you create a title that pops, that gets people listening, that gets people on the edge of their seat. Those are super exciting things to experience. And I will help you using my signature framework on how to develop your signature speech. You can get started. You don't have to wait. And you also don't have to rely too heavily on your signature story because that is personal and private. I tend to work with people who have very powerful stories, but they may not be interested in sharing those stories quite yet or in a very public way, and I honor that. You can do that through creating a signature speech that still has story elements within it, but allows you to be private, to be quiet, to be to heal from whatever experiences you've had. It took me many years before I was willing to talk about my personal story of weight loss because I didn't think it was a big deal. Even if you know that your story is a big deal, you may be hesitant to share elements of it depending on what audiences you're speaking to. I honor that. The solution to that is coming up with a signature speech where you might have glimmers of ways that you can connect with the audience through your personal story, but you don't necessarily have to say all of it. And at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about your audience. Those are the things you'll be learning in my Public Speaking for Coaches Masterclass, which happens next week. I will put the link to this class in the comments below here. It's $47 to attend. Let me know if you're going to make it. I can't wait to say hi to you and help walk you through how to create a signature speech that attracts the right clients to you, your services, and your business. In the meanwhile, happy Mother's Day weekend. My name is Jen. Make sure to say hi if you're watching the replay. And let me know, what is your signature speech? If you don't have one, what title are you working with or topic are you working with? And then don't forget to register and join me next week. I can't wait to see you. Take care.